Hello and namaste. Welcome back for our podcast, The Healing Prana. We have with us Deepthi, our energy healer. Deepthi, hi. Welcome back.
Hi. Thanks for having me. And in today's video, we are going to discuss about the hot topic which everyone searches in online and YouTube, that is stress and mental health, and how
Yeah.
yoga, meditation, and therapy and energy healing, all of these modalities, by using these modalities, how we can cope up with stress and other mental health problems related to stress. That's what we are going to discuss in this mini podcast. So, yes, by saying that, I would like to ask Shashi that what exactly stress is and how does it affects our mind and body. Shashi, you will give your yoga and meditation point of view, then I will talk about it from my expertise. And I would love to listen to your
Amazing.
perspective on this.
Sure. So it's a wonderful topic, by the way, Deepthi, because if you see our current generation, everyone is stressed right from the children, say about 4, 5 years, starting from 4, 5 years old to 60 plus years old, everyone is stressed. Could be in terms of the technological advancement what we had, or we're putting ourselves into the into a place where we want to be than the reality. What is the reality? Other than that, we were expecting ourselves to be somewhere else, or if we want to be someone else, we are projecting to be someone else. We want to compare with someone else. The constant comparison or constant agitation. See, what's happening is we are running away from the reality. So when you expect something and it doesn't happen, you go in against the reality and you sort of get stressed. Whatever you have planned, most of the times it will not happen, and you get stressed. Now it's a hot topic, as you said. It's a very hot topic. Wherever you see the internet, there's a stress, mental health, all these related terms are being tossed. Now, if you ask me about yoga, what as per the ancient text it is called chitta vikshep, something which is mentally agitated or distraction. You're not able to focus. You're not able to be calm. That's when we call it chitta vikshepa. You're not able to focus on anything. You're not happy, though you have all the necessary. You have the food on your plate. You have the clothing, best of the best clothing, and you have the roof. You have the house to stay in. But yet, most of the people are not happy. They're stressed. So we call it as chitta vikshepa. Uh, it's about yoga activates sympathetic nervous system, where when it is sympathetic nervous system, either you fight the situation, or you run away. Most of the people want to run away and just try to pile up those stressful situations, and one fine day they'll succumb to it. Okay, it could be getting addicted to some sort of drugs, could be some sort of alcoholism, everything. Now, when you do yoga consciously, when I say consciously, you should be aware of what you're doing, how your body is moving. It activates sympathetic nervous system. So basically, it helps you to rest well. You're gonna get sleep better. Your digestions will be proper. So basically, we're gonna address all these things, starting from asanas. We will help them to do gentle movements so that they get aware of their body movements. Lot of the people would lose connection of their body because they're so stressed that they can't even focus on their body for a minute or two. They think that focusing on body or for a minute or two they think that it's a waste of time. People who wants to be on a shavasana, basically cooling down, yet they don't want to do it because they think it's a waste of time. However, asanas, gentle asanas, creating awareness, followed by pranayama, activating that vital energy, and meditation. This is the process what we follow. And I'm very curious to know how and what process do you follow in terms of addressing the stress, in terms of the energy healing thing.
Yes, and that was really great insight that you gave us now, Shashi, from yoga point of view. and how elaboratively you expressed it. I really appreciate that. And it relates a lot to body and mind, how it interlinked and how yoga can be really, really helpful and useful for that. When people comes to me in the office, when they talk about stress, mostly I face people who are in work field, they are working, or the people who are, in some kind of competitive exams, and the people who are in married life also, and the people who just had a baby. So all of these people who are facing stress, and they usually come into the office and they directly say, I am in stress, can you help me? So we have a lot of mental health issues, but stress is one of those issues where people can point out their symptoms and they can identify it. And when they have any other mental health issues, they're not able to identify what it is. So when they come to the office, they talk about the signs and symptoms. But when it comes to the stress, then they come to the office, they directly say that I have stress and I want to get rid of it. I'm not able to function properly in my day-to-day life, and I wanted to cope up with it so that I can have a good and peaceful life. So when we say stress, the word itself meaning that we have an external world. Okay, the external world where we live in, we have other people, and we have the internal world. Internal world means our expectations that our life should be like this, our problems should be like this, I should have solution to this problem. So when we think ourselves in the mental movie that we create in our mind, and we have a picture that everything goes should in this way. This is our internal movie, and we have this external world where everything going on in this way. So when our internal movie doesn't match with our external movie, we get stress. When things are not according to our way, that's when we get stress. We have video games. In that video games, kids are really interested. It could be a kid or an elder person. Anyone is playing. Everyone is playing video games. So if you take that particular scenario, they are faced with challenges. Once they complete one challenge, they go to next level. And people love this concept. They when we give them challenge and then they finish that challenge, they go to next level. They are loving this process. But when it comes to the real life, they are getting stressed. Why? In video game, when they have given challenges, the required sources and resources are available to them in that point of time, and there will be suggestions in the video game. If you wanted to finish this challenge, these are the instruction. So they have the instruction manual to complete the challenge, and when they are completing the challenge, they are going to the next level. And going to the next level is the reward. So in real life, what happens when we are facing some kind of challenge and issue problems in our life, we don't have the manual with us how to deal with it. Once we have the manual, we are going to love our problems. We wanted to solve them because after solving the problem, the reward we are going to get from the life, that is really tasty. It's really amazing. And when it comes to the manual, it's really a lengthy manual that every psychologist and yoga professionals like you, we have been trained to be the medium to deliver this manual to the people. See, if any person wants to solve their problem, they wanted to read, they can read Bhagavad Gita, Bible, or some other texts to solve their problem. But not everyone can encode Bhagavad Gita or any other textbook and how to apply those techniques in real life. That's why the people like teachers, the people like psychologists, the people like yoga instructors like you exist in this world. So if you wanted to really overcome the stress, we have to have that manual of how to deal with this. It's not about the event, Shashi. It's never about the event. It's never about the problem. Our soul loves problem. Our souls love challenges because soul only craves for two emotions, growth and love. Life problems will give an opportunity to growth, and our souls love it. So all people want is that manual, that what are the resources that are there to solve my problem. Once they get that manual, they won't have stress. We can eliminate stress from our life. So yes, that's it for the question that you asked. And when you say that, then I have another question to ask you. When you talk about stress, you talked about from the yoga perspective, and I really, really appreciate that. And from that yoga perspective, can you tell me that how does yoga helps to reduce stress scientifically?
It's a good question. Basically, when you take scientific experiments, there are a lot of if there is a company called Mind Valley. A lot of people would have heard about it. So basically, they have conducted a lot of experiments on monks, especially who do deeper meditation. Okay, it's very surprising that once they go to a trance state where, when they're doing the meditation, the gray matter, which we call the relaxing hormone, or the gray matter, where that increases when they meditate. They go into deeper trance mode where all the activities of the body, it goes to like a safe mode where it gets reduces, and sort of the vital energy would be increasing when they are in the meditative state. So basically, it's just that all the activities slowly get reduced a bit. I'm not saying they're going to stop, okay, but those who are in meditation, they are very calm. They can contemplate what they are doing in life. So these are the scientific experiments which have been done, especially when you come across this Mind Valley courses and all. You will see that the lot of experiments have been done on the meditation. Apart from this, basically, when you talk about asanas, is something where, when you hold a posture, for example, when you hold a posture, it could be any asana. I will tell you a tree pose wherein you stand on one feet and you balance the other leg on the other piece. Okay, when you do that, basically what is happening, you're focusing, and your focus should always be at the present, in the present moment. The moment you think about, okay, what did I do in the morning, you're going to fall. The moment you think, okay, what am I going to do next? You're just standing on one leg. You're doing the balancing asana. The moment you think about, oh, what am I going to do in the evening? You lose the focus and you're going to fall. So basically, what's happening is, apart from your training the body, you are also training the mind. So when you train the mind, and when you are the master, not the mind gives you 60,000 plus thoughts in a day. You have to understand what is good for you and what is bad for you. It could be in a fraction of a second you have to take the decision. It could be a day or two, it could be an hour or two, but you have to take the right decision, what is good for you or what is bad for you. That happens only when you take yourself into deeper meditation. When you said about manual, we're talking about manual, right? And I was just thinking in my mind that the soul knows the manual. Obviously, people would ask you to do meditation. What's going to happen there? You're not going to find answer. Are you going to find answer how you do the recipe? But the answer actually lies beneath the meditation. When you calm down your thoughts, it's just like the dirty water has slowly settled down, and you can see beneath the surface what you actually are, what your soul actually wants to be. That's the power of yoga, where when you practice asanas, pranayama, and meditation, your cortisol level slowly comes down, your flight or the fight mode slowly gets resolved. You will sleep better. The moment you sleep better, half of your problems goes off. And the moment you're happy, you can see the life in a different way. Will not chase behind the five senses, which basically they give you a lot of desires. You're going to cut down on what is not required. So this is a scientific question answers. If you ask me, it reduces the cortisol. The hormones get released, you be happy and whatnot. It's a good conversation which we're having, Deepti, because a lot of people would want to ask, Why meditation? Why therapy? What is energy healing? So you're not teaching us something spiritual. No, we are not teaching you spiritual things. It's not, it's way beyond it. Only few people can connect to the mind and they want to do the mind work. Not many people want to touch the mind because they know if they touch, there's a lot of things, lot of garbage, lot of things being already stored. It takes a lot of patience, immense patience, and immense willpower to work on your mind. And what you're doing is, it's not a small thing. It's in our workshop. We're going to work on the mental energy, go deep down into the desires, your deep rooted problems. We're going to work on that. Okay, so fine. So I answered a lot of information now. I gave out a lot of information, Deepti. Now, I have a question for you now. You're talking about stress, mental health, everything. I mean, like, see, everyone knows the answer, but yet they don't want to try these practices because, as I said, they want a strong willpower. And now you tell me something. How about the energy healing? What exactly happens in the energy healing, and why people have to practice it? Who all needs to practice this? Do you have an age group into it?
That's really a great question, Sashi. Let me answer that for you. So when I talk about energy healing, we have to focus on more than first we have to believe that something exists beyond our body, beyond our mind also. And that is the energy. You can also say soul, you can also say divine energy. So we are completely working on that higher dimensional, with the higher dimension. Okay. So let's say we have stress. So whenever we are in stress, what is the first thing people try to do in order to reduce stress is to control the external environment. And when they little bit know about yoga and meditation or therapy also, then they work on the mind. Then they try to cope up with stress by using some asana or some yoga and some, they go to therapy. In therapy also we have some stress reducing techniques that we say, especially for anxiety people. Okay, so all of these techniques really really work well. But what if we can heal them from the energy itself? Let's say this is a body, this is mind, and here there is energy. In Bhagavad Gita, see, Mahabharatam, there is a Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is nothing but the conversation between Arjuna and Krishna. The Krishna, whatever the knowledge he gives to Arjuna, when Arjuna says, I don't want to fight, they all are my family members. What will I gain after this? When he says this, then what Krishna does is he expands his body. That's what we see in serials. Okay. He expands his body. He becomes a very, very big person. That's not true. See, he was the normal height itself. What Arjuna sees is that his energy, he sees that. That means his soul gets expanded. And we have soul above us and behind, inside us. Everyone says that soul is within me, soul is within me. Yes, soul is within you and with above you. You are in between, and there is a big, just I wanted to give a big picture there. Imagine a big white light. In that big white light there is a small line. That is the small line, which is body. In that small line there is a seed like seed size mind. Okay, in that seed size mind we have stress, we have anxiety, we have PTSD, you name it, any mental health issues. And then we have that line body, they have physical health issues. And we have this big energy, which is our soul. That is the Krishna Swarupam he sees when he gives Bhagavad Gita Bodhana to Arjuna. That is his energy level. And every single person, because God is within us, we also have that energy, that soul. So when we are healing from that soul level. We comes down to body, because body healing also equally important. Then we comes down to my mind. So I am a psychologist, that true, but I'm also a spiritual person. I'm also a healer. When I heal from the energy level, we are touching the points of your energy, your vibrations, your frequencies. So we have three sections. Number one is your energy management. Number two is your identity, story, belief management. Number three is the situation where your body, your surroundings, your earthly life, relationships, everything comes into play. So what we are going to do, we are going to work on their energy also, energy management, emotional management. Let's say when we are in stress, the first thing we have to do to put ourselves in a gratitude emotional state. What is the opposite of stress, anxiety, fear is gratitude. You can't be stressed and grateful at the same time. How can you be stressed that, oh my God, my situation is not in my control, my life is not in my control? You can't say these dialogues and still say, oh my God, I'm so thankful that I have chat gpt, I'm so thankful that I have AI in this generation, I can do everything on my own. You can't praise about your life, you can't cry for your life at the same time. You can't do the both. But the challenge comes when you are in stress, how to be grateful. That's what we teach in a program. That is the manual, that is the exact manual what I was talking about. That is the manual we are going to give to the people, because they are going to with us maybe every day in the morning. You, me, or Harini, someone will be there every single day with them. But what happens after that 1 hour with our session? They go to their life. How they are going to deal with that stress? We are going to give the manual. By looking at that manual, they can actually deal with their any problem in their life. See, no problem is more problematic in real life than the problem we imagine in our mind. We always imagine in our mind the problem is really big. And once I have a client and she was imagining, this is gonna happen, that gonna happen. She was imagining the worst case scenarios, and I said, dear, the worst case scenario you're imagining, in order to do that, a lot of work needs to be done in order to do that worst case scenario, in order for that to happen. And nobody is going to do that much hard work. So when the real thing is going to happen, it's going to be a very small problem compared to the problem you have in your mind. And she calm, she waited it. When she actually faced that situation, it was really, really small situation. She handled it really well. It was all in her imagination. Our mind is really devil. We have to take control of it. It's a really bad master, but it is a great servant, by the way. But we are sometimes get scared of this mind, and we give every control to this mind, and we tell them, I'm surrendered, I will surrender to you. And when we surrender, it's doing such a nonsense thing, because that is a small kid and the devil at the same time. It does whatever it wants. So we have to take back that control. We have to be the master, and we have to make it a, well, I would don't want to call it slave. Well, we can say it as a student, a friend, or a kid, because a lot of people say mind is a devil, but let's not call it a devil. Let's call it a student. We can be a good teacher. It can be a good student, not master. That's what I would like to say.
Wow, wow, very good explanation, and very well examples which you gave, Deepti. Now, you were talking about two things. I will take it from your conversation, which is very interesting. No problem is great until you will start facing physical and mental issues. The moment you have these issues, all the other issues will run away. So that is one thing. And sometimes I think at times when you keep thinking about bad things, you would end up attracting them, because as you said, our soul or a body, subconscious is just like a baby. It doesn't differentiate you what is good, what is bad for you. As you likely said, literally you said really good words. You cannot be stressed and you cannot be grateful at the same time. So it's really wonderful that it's about each individual. You guys want to be happy throughout your life and not crib about the 5% which is not in our control. Focus on the 90% and leave the 10% which is not in your control. Work on the 90% which you are the boss, if what I'm doing at this present moment would obviously affect my next day, I'm doing bad things now. Obviously, people will say karma will come back to you because I've been doing bad things, I've been attracting bad things, and how can I expect good things in the next few days? It's as simple as that. If I'm working on my skills, if I'm studying harder, if I'm taking care of my health, if I'm being kind, if I'm being helpful to others, if I'm being good for my own health, as in like think good, be grateful. Obviously, you're all creating that good karma, as in like good thoughts, and eventually the next coming days, next months, next few years would obviously give the fruit of what you've been sowed, right? So obviously, well put that no problem is bigger until you get the problem in your physical and mental problems. And most of the times we attract these bad things, the stress and all. We put ourselves up there and we try to compete rather than focus on what to be controlled. All right. So wonderful talking to you, Deepthi. Do you want to say something before we sort of say bye for this session? Or do we have to address anything else? But we will keep all these interesting things, um, healing the child trauma which we have in the childhood, healing through the meditation, healing through the pranayama. When you were talking about that Vishwarupam, we all have the same thing, and we call it as Panchakosha in yoga, where we have the physical form, we have the astral form, which we call it the aura. We also have that Manomaya Kosha we call where lot of issues would pop up when we think bad about others or when we keep thinking negativity. Obviously, that manifests as a disease in our body. We talk about it later in our workshops, but those who wants to really live a happy and healthy life in and out. I'm not saying that okay, you do this, you're going to just focus on your physical health. No, we are going to focus holistically inside, outside. We are repairing our body and mind, and this is the best platform where the healing prana are coming up with a 3-day detox program where we focus on physical mental health through the nutrition, positive affirmations, therapies, meditation, yogasanas, so what not. Do you want to add something on this, Dipti? So
Yes, so in our healing program, we are also going to focus on how to manifest money. If you wanted to hope up, jump up on a dream career, how to manifest that, how to have very good relationship with yourself, with your colleagues, with your family, with your partner, and if you are going through any heartbreaks, and how not to, some people are always falling for the same kind of persons. They have been cheated multiple times. They are always falling for narcissist. They are always finding a person who is going to leave them because they somehow inherently have this emotions called I'm not enough. Okay, it's going to take a lot of time, but just join our workshop, guys, because we are going to cover health, physical health, mental health, and we are going to cover relationships, we are going to cover career, we are going to cover money also. And we are going to raise your vibrations to a certain level where you're working at the energy level where manifestation happens in a fraction of seconds. You are just imagining it, and in order for you to get that, universe is instantly start working for you. We are going to share all of those things. See, we are going to completely focus on physical health and mental health, but as a bonus, you will get relationship mastery, you will get emotional mastery, you will get career and financial mastery for how to raise your vibrations and frequency to certain level to manifest your dream life. So those all are going to be just your bonuses, but the main thing is health. That is, health is the greatest wealth. You're going to get the greatest wealth for completely, in a 3D perspective. You're going to have yoga, meditation, you're going to have therapy. And if you think that therapy is something that you can't afford, then please join this program. You're going to have yoga and meditation and nutrition, the good proper diet, and in the same way you're going to get therapy. So it will become easy for you. You don't have to go for different experts. In one place you can have all of those things. So yes, quickly join the workshops. We have already first batch is going on, and it's better to you join, because once the one batch is completed, because the seats are limited, we wanted to focus on quality people who are interested in real transformation. So the seats are, really limited, so quickly join. That's what I would like to say.
Thank you so much, Deepti. Yes, the first batch is currently undergoing, it's ongoing, and we will slowly, shortly conclude that. Um, this is only for the people who want to see the real transformation, action takers, because the limited number of seats, because we want to give the individual attention to all the people who are there in the workshop. Okay, so only for the people who are very serious and action takers. So, having said that, Deepti, so thanks a lot for joining us today. Take care and see you soon.
Yeah.